Oh, a rather hard tackle which was allowed to go through, but the return one not allowed by Raju Gaikwad. This ball has been sent in. It's a great chance for Abu Saleh. There could be a follow-up as well. It's almost an open goal. He's got the entire defense at his mercy. Still got a chance. Goes for a shot. Nobody at the receiving end of it. That is a very, very lucky escape for the Indian defense. They were almost done in there by this pass coming in. Abu Saleh yet again, superb control. Good work from Sandeep Nandi. And at least a couple of attempts there for Abu Harkud. The first one was blocked. The second time he was looking perhaps to cross it for his teammates. Now a little bit of history coming in. Izumi Arata is going to join this match. He'll become the first person of Indian origin to take to the pitch in an India blue jersey. Born to an Indian father and a Japanese mother. A moment to savor for all Indian fans. He's going to replace Lenny Rodriguez. Churchill Brothers midfielder replaced by the attacking midfielder who plies his trade these days for Pune FC, having spent previous stints at East Bengal as well as Mahindra United, the now defunct team from Mumbai. Listen to the reception. Special evening this. It's been talked about on a few occasions before, and it's finally happened this evening, the 6th of February 2013. Also a pretty significant date in football terms. It's the 55th anniversary of the unfortunate tragedy which befell the Manchester United team back in 1958, associated with the Busby's Babes. It's been a memorable night nonetheless for the fans of football here in Kochi. What will make it more memorable is if India can claw their way back into this game. First touch for Izumi Arata is an assured one. Spreads the ball out to the right to Denzel Franco. Back now with Arata. Mehtab Hussain on to Said Rahim Nabi. This is lopped up forward, looking for the run of Clifford Miranda. No foul given. We were just talking earlier about the Munich air tragedy. The man in the center of your screen there, Nirmal Chetri, happens to be a pretty die-hard Manchester United fan. In fact, a message from him on one of the microblogging sites this morning, just commemorating the memory of that. Good to see a young Indian footballer on his way up, just remembering a slice of history and acknowledging it. Well, this time there's a chance for his hat-trick here for Ashraf. He's done exceedingly well, and he's found his way through to goal. What a super finish. Palestine have come out like a transformed unit in the second half, and they now have a 4-2 advantage, really turning on the style. India have absolutely no answer. One of the dangers of having men in your defense who play utility roles is that sometimes they are prone to some defensive mistakes. And it must be said here, Said Rahim Nabi was the man who was dispossessed rather easily. And then there was not much that Gauramangi Singh could have done. In fact, tremendous skills here from Ashraf. Watch him. Watch his composure inside the box. Switching between his feet, looking like he was eventually going to shoot with his left, going with his right, taking a deflection of the goalkeeper. And he's more than pleased with himself. 3 goals in the night. Great work from the man from Bethlehem. Bit of a mountain to climb. 3 goals inside 21 minutes in the second half. What a dramatic turnaround in this game. India were looking firmly in control when the first 45 minutes were played out. But since then, it's been all Palestine. Here's Abu Saleh, the man who in many respects found that fight back going for his team. Good play between him and Abu Habib. Once again looking for Ashraf, this time down the right flank. That's a lovely touch on. The flag has stayed down and there was an opportunity. In fact, it goes up very late from the referee. So it wouldn't have mattered had he found the back of the net. But this has been delightful combination play between the likes of Abu Habib, Ashraf and Abu Saleh. Yet again, Ashraf was the one setting that ball up, but it was given an offside right at the very end. In fact, a close call because by all accounts, the Indian defenders hadn't really completely managed to clear their lines. So it's a nervy second half for the Indian defense. 3 goals is a fair admission of the fact that they haven't been up to scratch in the second half thus far. Abu Saleh yet again. Quite clearly the tactic in the second half of shifting Ashraf from the left flank as he played through that first half onto the right has worked wonders. Because while he initially gave a lot of problems to Denzel Franco, towards the end of that half, the Churchill brothers wing-back had done very well to quell his threat. But in the second half, he's absolutely shredded Said Rahim Nabi defensively to pieces. And that might necessitate a change or two coming in from the Indian camp. Back with Palestinian possession. Just outside the penalty box, looking to fashion another good attacking move coming in. The shot is a speculative one, but quite far away from goal. No problems at all. It's the young substitute Mahmood who came in. So now it's going to be the turn of Sheikh Jewel Raja to come on. And he will be replacing another young man, Alvin George. So the future of Indian football pretty much on display. Sheikh Jewel Raja, 23 years of age, plays his football these days for Mohan Bagan in the I-League. Comes from the place called Baj near Kolkata. And apparently had a choice to make between cricket and football and was a pretty useful fast bowler. So could well have been playing in Kochi in a different capacity on another night, but at the moment he is in the India blue in football. Confirmation of that substitution, Alvin George, the man who went out, and his replacement, Sheikh Jewel Raja, has become quite an invaluable member of the Indian team. In fact, his real name happens to be Tariq Ahmed. It so happened that his elder brother Tarif Ahmed also played both for India as well as for ONGC, the club where he started. And their father gave him the name of Sheikh Jewel Raja just to distinguish him, because there was a lot of confusion between the two brothers apparently. This is sent in. This time Nabi receives it but needs to get rid of it quickly. Bit of a clearance, but quite hastily arranged one. It's back with Palestine possession. Excellent work yet again from Ashraf, who's fast staking a claim to be considered perhaps the most outstanding player on the pitch. Long ball, but the offside flag going up against Abu Saleh. Clifford Miranda just making sure that he was in a position behind Abu Saleh. So the Indians working that to perfection in defense. So 2-goal deficit now with less than 20 minutes to go. The pressure piling on the Indians. They need to find some goals back into this one if they have to have any chance of even sharing the spoils from this particular game. But it must be said, the Palestine team, we knew that we couldn't consider them to be lightweight opponents, and they've shown exactly why in the second half, just raising their game by several notches. And I'm afraid the Indians just haven't been able to do that as yet. This is Izumi Arata. Henceforth, at least on his passport, known in India as Neelkant Kambholja. For the moment, though, we'll stick to Arata. Back with the man who plays his football with Pune FC. Just a distant rumble of a thunder, but this is, of course, only a FIFA friendly, but it has exposed just a few weaknesses in the Indian lineup. It's not perhaps the best Indian team that Wim Koopmans would normally put on. He's just looking to experiment ahead of the AFC Challenge Cup qualifiers. Would still have a few more tinkering to do before he decides on his final squad. But we are looking at the nucleus of the team which should serve India in years to come. And the significance of a decision such as the one to bring Arata into the fold will only be known in time to come. It's only the first game, only the first few minutes that he's spent on the pitch. Well, he'll be looking to get that ball, but in the meantime, an injury just slowing things down. It was Francis Fernandez who was moving down that right flank as he does so often. Had some support from Sheikh Jewel Raja and was looking to find Denzel Franco yet again. Just losing control of the ball, and then that sliding tackle coming in from Khadir Yusuf Abdul Hamad. It's gone a bit quiet, but nothing does work too much to quell their enthusiasm. The men and women and children of Kochi love their football, and they've come out in good numbers to support this first international game in about 7 years in this part of the country. The stadium, in fact, was built for the 1997 Nehru Gold Cup, and that was a tremendous Indian team as well, even though they didn't, unlike their successors, go on to win the title. Gave a very good account of themselves, some fighting performances against high-quality Asian and worldwide opposition. The likes of Baichung Bhutia and their team, I am Vijay and Joe Paul Ancheri, coached by the formidable Syed Naimuddin. In the meantime, India win this attempt at putting some pressure on their opponents in the shape of a corner. Remember, they began things on a positive note with the first few corners and also have scored of one thanks to Said Rahim Nabi. Can they do it again? In fact, Nabi also came close once in the second half. Just couldn't get his header on target to bother Mohammad Shfair. Yet again looking for a similar route. This time the follow comes in. It's just wide from Jewel Raja. That was a magnificent left-footed attempt. First timer from the youngster. It fell to him rather fortuitously. And as this angle will prove to you, it wasn't way off the mark. Just needed to perhaps start a meter or two closer to the goal post, and it could have caused a lot of confusion. Wim Kovermans is just running the changes quite quickly at the moment. He's going to bring on young Manandeep Singh, the 20-year-old forward. He'll be replacing the Indian skipper for the night, Sunil Chhetri. Manandeep Singh hails from Hisar in Haryana, comes through the age ranks of Indian lineups, under 16, under 19, under 23 as well. Currently plays in East Bengal, but has also had stints with the Indian Arrows in the I-League as well as the Air India team in Mumbai. And the second change will be Joaquim Abranches, who will be coming on in place of Francis Fernandez. Number 10 of India will be coming off, and number 17 will be coming in. Abranches, of course, lots and lots of experience. 27-year-old man from Dempo. Wasn't replaced in the original, wasn't rather named in the original squad, was named as a standby, and eventually came into this particular team in place of Anthony Pereira. Palestine just telling India that anything you can do, we can do as well, if not better. And that means that there will be a first look of the day for Abdul Rahim Kabea, midfielder who plays for the league leaders in the West Bank Premier League, Shabab Al Thare. And he will be replacing the number 10, Abdul Hamid Abu Habib. Abu Habib has been very good. He's been quite industrious in midfield. In fact, been at the center of most things when moving forward, been the link up between the defense and midfield, and has done an exceedingly good job. And that's what will be expected. A lot of hard work and industry yet again, this time from Kabea, the 26-year-old midfielder. Just coming up to the 80-minute mark now. The Indians fast running out of ideas, but they will need to strike soon if they have to force a tense finish to this. Manandeep gets to the ball, but is penalized in the end. In fact, playing advantage here, Rowan, allowing Palestine to get away with it. They give the ball away rather softly. Izumi Arata. This is Denzel Franco. Finds Abranches for his first touch. All-weather man for Dempo. It's been a fine performance from Palestine, and can they cap it off with a victory in this match? Their first ever encounter against the Indians, who are ranked, of course, lower than them at 166. Taking their time over everything now, the Palestinians. This has been split through, looking for Manandeep, but a comfortable clearance in the end for Mahdi, who's in many respects been a bit of an unsung hero in defense. His captain Al-Badri did a lot of good work, but he has been rock solid as well. Yet again on that occasion, making sure that his burly presence ensured that there were no hassles as that ball came in, attempting to look for Clifford Miranda right in the center of the circle. And now a muscular run of their own coming in from Raid Faris, and he's been brought down, which is just perfect from Palestine's perspective. They're also looking to make a change, and this will just help them run down the clock just a little bit more. So making another change, Ahmed Salame is going to come on, the 23-year-old defender who plays his football for Al Amari, and he'll be replacing a like-for-like change. Abu Jazar is the man who's coming off. Ahmed Salame winning his sixth cap of his Palestinian career, but it's been a good work, good evening in terms of defensive work from Abu Jazar. Nabi takes this throw in. India fast running out of time now. Less than 9 minutes to go. Clifford Miranda sent bundling down to the ground. Clifford yet again. Izumi. Good bit of trickery, and good that his teammate Nabi was also on the same page. The two of them coming away with the ball. Branches was looking for the run of Denzel Franco. He has won a throw-in for his team, which will be taken by Franco. Manandeep just looking a little out of his depth in terms of pace. A couple of times he's got through to the ball, but he's been outpaced. Now can Ashraf add another collection to his tally of 3 goals for the night, but denied by a very alert and alive Sandeep Nandi. Izumi Arata. Branches looking for a defense splitting pass, if he can find that. With both Sheikh Jewel Raja as well as Manandeep now forced into more attacking roles, but it's been picked up delightfully by Ashraf, who's playing with this sort of nonchalance as if this is the first minute of the match, not the 83rd as it is. After a first half that was dominated by the Indians, both in terms of chances and eventual output, this has been Palestine all the way in the second half. Indians, in fact, just on a couple of occasions coming close to looking like they could pose a threat to Mohammad Shabair's goal. But a lot more cohesive performance by the visitors, both in defense and in attack. And this man has been at the center of quite a few lovely things for them. Abu Saleh, yet again, not running out of energy, cutting this back in. Could get a second chance, but eventually dispossessed. Here's Mehtab Hussain. Long ball aimed at Manandeep. Shouldn't be too much trouble for the defense to deal with. India fast running out of both time as well as ideas at the moment, trying to use those flanks as effectively as they can, but with Sunil Chhetri as well as Francis Fernandes now off the pitch, just losing that sting which they had moving forward. Alvin George was also taken off, so the three men who looked most likely to pose attacking threats have been taken off. Sheikh Jewel Raja. Just a little bit of a buzz around the stadium because the stands have just caught their first sight of CK Vineet, the local lad, just taking his bib off and getting ready for some action. CK Vineet called up for the first time for the Indian squad in a rich vein of form. Played for the local team, in fact, in the I-League, Chirag United Kerala in 2011-12. This season, he's been playing for Prayag United in Kolkata. And he's coming fresh off a hat-trick in a 4-1 victory over Air India at Pune's Balewadi Sports Stadium. And this will be the first call-up for the Indian, first cap for the Indian as well, coming on in place of Clifford Miranda. So, like for like, electric pace down the flanks. And his first touch, in fact, is chested down, allowing Manandeep to control the ball, but just a slew of red shirts ensuring that there were no further alarms, and now they are looking for a counter-attack of their own. It's India who come away with the ball at the last 5 minutes of action now in regulation time. Still adrift by 2 goals. So the perpetual game of 2 halves has been played out this evening. Looking like he's going to play his last and final card in. Coach Jamal Mahmood. Khalid Salim, let's put 2 inches of him forward. Number 11 plays for Shabab Al-Tahrir, the league leaders for them. But at the moment, this is about an Indian attack down the right flank. Yet again, it's been played in, but not enough blue shirts around to pose a threat. Manandeep will be all for Mohammad Shabair, who's rather enjoyed himself in the second half. His defensive teammates have made sure that there hasn't been too much for him to do. And when he's been called upon, he's been quite effective, especially on that one occasion when he just managed to tip it away, low down to his left as a result of a speculative effort from Said-Rahim Nabi, who was looking for his second goal of the night. Speaking of Nabi, here he is on the ball, looking to fashion a cross for his teammates. It's not a bad one. The header is not quite on target, but a lot better from the Indians. Needed to do that a lot more often and with a lot more accuracy in the second half. So this will be the next substitution of the night. Hussam Abu Salah will be the man coming off. Hussam Abu Salah, the man who got one of the goals for the evening. In fact, just changing his mind, it would seem, about the substitution. That's interesting. Nobody wants to come off the pitch. I wonder what has to do with it, how much of a role the scoreline would have to do with that. But Palestine have had an outstanding evening, and all of their men who are out there on the pitch who've done a fine job for them would want to see this off by all logic. Of course, in the end, the coach is the boss and he has his way. And this time he chooses to go with Iyad Abu Kharkoud coming out. So that was the change, the strategic change which was being made. He was initially bringing off a midfielder and bringing on a striker. Then he realized his folly and eventually decided to bring on a striker for a striker. At the moment, though, the script is turning out to be perfect for the visitors. The possession is with them. The pace of the game is pretty much being directed by them. A couple of fancy clearances inside their box could be dangerous. This has been nicely picked up. Vineet could have had a chance at it as well, but eventually a good bit of work by Mahdi in defense. Khalid Mahdi had to just get to that ball before the youngster CK Vineet could get across to that. How much the locals would have loved it. It fell to him rather fortuitously, and he almost got a chance to have a go at goal. So finally that change happening. Iyad Kharkoud, he hasn't had a goal this evening, but he's worked very, very hard for his team, often dropping back and allowing Ashraf Nuwan to have most of the attacking opportunities. And his strike partner, of course, paying his team back in kind with a hat-trick. So those 3 goals possibly could be the difference between these two teams on the night. Here's a chance for India, though, to cause some late panic into this match. Mehtab Hussain sent it in. Looking for the far corner. It's been kept in play. No, it hasn't. Khalid Kamil rather. Mohammad Kamil rather. Just making sure that that is given as a goal kick for the home side, for the visitors rather. It's been a second half where there have been a number of substitutions, and that no doubt will influence the decision in terms of how long the injury time will be in this match. And we are reliably informed by our hard-working crew across each and every center of the pitch that that figure will be 4 minutes. So can India take advantage of these 4 minutes here? This has been sent in. Once again looking for Manandeep. The header in is not a bad one. It's a defensive header which causes a corner. But Palestine are quite happy to concede that. Yet again, it's that man, Khalid Mahdi, asking some of his defensive mates, what were you guys doing? Pick your man. Mark them well. As the rain comes down at Kochi yet again. It's been an evening where the rain has been persistent. It's been a bit of a drizzle right through the evening, but it hasn't at any stage been strong enough to cause any disruptions in play. There could be an opportunity for the Indians, but it fell at an awkward angle for Gauramangi Singh, where he really didn't know what exactly to do with it. Thought best to just punt it back into the box. But they couldn't get across to finishing it off. Now, yet another long ball. Well dealt with, though. Picked up by CK Vineet. He's brought down. Leads to a free kick for the Indians. And one can see already in these last 5 minutes that he's been on the pitch. There is something special about this boy, no doubt. He'll be a happy man at the end of these added time minutes. It was always expected to be a needle encounter, but having gone down 2-1, they've shown extraordinary resolve in these second 45 minutes to come back. And when he has his full complement of players back, then one can imagine that this Palestine team can be quite a handful. As they've shown in recent times, they've had a few string of good results. They've beaten the likes of Lebanon, had a few good matches in recent times against other teams from Asia, such as Kuwait as well as Oman. In fact, have been regulars at the Pan-Arab Games and have given a pretty decent account of themselves. Well, the Indian fans aren't exactly singing in the rain, but they cannot complain. It's been a fine, fine evening of football in this FIFA friendly. And If one views the two halves in isolation, then there'll be some moments to cheer about for the Indian fans. But now they need to defend yet again. Can Ashraf add a fourth to his night's proceedings? Goes for a shot. It smacks of Denzel Franco. And eventually the clearance should be affected here. The fighters happy to keep the ball to themselves, and they have shown that fighting spirit, exactly why they are called Al-Fidai. It was a fighting effort to come back from 2-1 down, score inside the first quarter of an hour, and find themselves in front, and to maintain that with some pretty solid play all over the pitch. It's been the hallmark of a very fine team in the making. Here's a chance for the local lad though, Vineet, trying to find Manandeep. Eventually a very feeble left-footed attempt from the East Bengal striker, and Shber, I can bet you, was making it look a lot more dramatic than it actually was. Coming to the stage where referee Rowan will just be looking down at his watch and making sure that he gets it spot on. Any one of these moves could be the last of this match, but it has been a fine performance from Jamal Mahmood's Palestinian team. Long ball sending and an acrobatic clearance from Sandeep Nandi. Asking for that ball back quickly, but I'm afraid there isn't enough time on this night. There won't be a fairy tale finish for the Indian team this evening. And Wim Kovermans will know only too well that there are a few flaws to be ironed out, but at the moment it's celebration time for the visitors. The first ever match between India and Palestine finishes with a 4-2 result in favor of Jalal Mahmood's team, who have done exceedingly well for themselves to have come back from 2-1 down in the second half, score 3 goals and get themselves up in front with almost half an hour to go, and maintaining that 2-goal advantage right through to the end with some fighting performance in defense. Lots and lots of heroes on the pitch for them, but undoubtedly the man who really stood out, number 7, Ashraf Numan Al Fawagra, one of their foreign-based players, plays for Al Faisali in Jordan, and showed why he's worth every bit of the high billing that he gets amongst his teammates. Lots and lots of joy for the little fans as well as the other ones who've come out for the Palestinians, the visitors, who finish this particular match at the Nehru Stadium in Kochi with this final scoreline here. It's India 2, Palestine 4.
You are watching 10 Action.
For the greatest team in the world, last season was one to forget for the Catalan Giants, losing both their La Liga and Champions League titles. Now, under their new manager, Tito Villanova, this supremely talented Barca side is dedicated to throw off the shadow of disappointment and redeem their lost glory. Follow every step of the Barca's season-long quest, only on Barca TV. This week, Barca TV's The Big Match is Valencia versus Barcelona, this Thursday from 6:30 p.m., only on 10 Action.
Cristiano Ronaldo is set for a special reunion in the UEFA Champions League when he lines up against his former side, Manchester United. Can the Red Devils do enough to stifle their former boy wonder to spoil the party in Madrid? Catch all the brightest stars on the road to Wembley. Real Madrid versus Manchester United on Wednesday, 13th of February from 11:55 p.m. Live and exclusive on 10 Action and 10 HD.
Brought to you by Enjoy Responsibly, UEFA Champions League sponsor.
Top 3 goals brought to you by Airtel Internet and Samsung Galaxy Note 2, incredibly creative.
You are watching 10.
And those two teams